Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of If It Isn't Love podcast. I am your hostess with the mostest, Danisha.
And I'm your co-host, J.L. Woodson.
And it's Sunday. Well, it's Wednesday for you guys because that's when you listen to this. It's Sunday when we're recording. Someone took a big nap.
But somebody also had a long night.
Yeah, somebody stayed up all night, but for good reason. Do you hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, am I supposed to hear that?
Probably not.
Sorry.
Actually.
I was like, I hear myself.
Here we go. Forgot to turn the monitor off.
That's okay. We're just going to keep it rolling and keep it rocking and rolling. So I thought that this week, well, first check in. How are you doing?
I am sleepy, but I am alive and awake. Awake-ish. Last night I had a live stream on Adobe Behance where I was designing 2 book covers, and that went very long, longer than I thought it was going to go. And I did not go to sleep on time, so I went to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, now I'm feeling the effects of it, but we are here. I am alive, and yeah. How about you?
I'm great. I did not stay up until 4 a.m. I worked out yesterday. I ate well. I took a mental break. I watched some Divorce Court, which is hilarious. I did some planning. I got up this morning. I cleaned up. I did some recording. Well, at least I cleaned the kitchen. That's it. Which is so crazy. Kitchen's never clean. It's like as soon as you clean it, you're hungry. It's just it never stays clean. So I get so irritated when I clean the kitchen. I'm like, yeah, this will last for an hour before it's not clean anymore.
Like, I think because like the house that I grew up in, like, granted, like, well, after we moved into a different house, like Sandy wasn't there and everything like that, and I was the dishwasher. But we had a dishwasher, so I would always wait until till the night to load the dishwasher, because I know everybody's gonna be eating during the day and everything like that. And then I would just load the dishwasher at night.
It's not wash dishes. It's clean the kitchen, which is a whole other thing. It's not just washing the dishes. It is wiping the stove off. It's cleaning the microwave out. It's wiping the counters off. And then just all cook all over again. It's food on the floor, so I had to sweep. I said clean the kitchen. I get what you're saying. I say wash the dishes. Had to unload the dishwasher because there's like a lot of stuff. But then just to turn around and it happens, right back. It's just like, even if you make your bed in the morning, if you don't get into bed, you get to savor that for the whole day. There's no savoring of a clean kitchen. But anyway, that's just what I did. I did some recording. I've gotten frustrated with social media.
What happened?
Because it just makes me feel old. TikTok makes me feel old every time I'm on there, trying to figure out how to make videos work and trying to do a lot of different videos and plan them. And you do something and it didn't work right, but it was like, especially if you're doing a before and after type thing. So it's like, if you just frick up the before, oh well, right? If you do that after, and you already aftered, I did something that before I got dressed, and then I showered and I got dressed. I messed up before, so then I can do about it.
See.
Except wait till, what am I going to do? Do the after now, and then I can record the before tomorrow, because I'd have to take off my entire face in order to do that. So, but I've had a good morning, so it's fine. It's a lot. I'm learning a lot about all the social media platforms, having a good time trying to put out content. It's fun. It's fine. Getting ready for the work week. I'm excited about that. My work best friend is leaving me.
You're excited about that?
No, I'm dreading that. I'm excited for her.
Oh.
I'm very excited for her. I am very, very excited for her. I am sad for me. I feel like she just told me, and even though it's been almost 2 weeks, I feel like she just told me, and now she's leaving at the end of this week. So I got feelings.
So deep in your feelings. Okay.
Okay, so I thought that this week we'd do something a little light, a little fun, something to wake you up. I was looking up. I was looking at all of our topics list, and something that I know I need to get better at is preparing for the episodes. I think we need to get better at preparing for episodes. So my new thought is after we finish the episode, and then we decide what will be our episode next week. And then we have a week
to prepare for it.
To prepare.
Okay.
Not procrastinate and wait till a Saturday night, but to prepare, right? Even in getting ready for the podcast, like I want to make sure that if we're going to record, if we're sticking to this recording schedule, that I get up early enough to do all the other stuff I want to do so that I'm ready to record. That's the other thing we have a bad, we're like, we're going to record at this time. And then we'll be like, we'll start getting ready to record 20 minutes before the time we're going to record. And then, then I have to I know it happens to both of us. Then I have to push back all the other stuff I want to do because I plan to do this, but I don't have time now because I recorded during that time. Whatever. So I thought today would be more lighthearted, right? So I was looking at the list and I was like, there's nothing that I feel like would come off well if we didn't prepare for it.
Okay.
And I don't want episodes, not every episode is just like, oh my God, such a hot topic and And I played around with the idea of doing current events and stuff like that. And I was trying to figure out what was happening in the world. Other than we do have a new president now. The 46th president of the United States is Joseph R. Biden. I think it's after Robert.
I don't know. Joseph Biden.
It's so funny. I'm sorry. When we were voting, when I went to go vote and I said, who is Joseph? And I was like, Joe. Joseph Biden. And our first female Black and Asian Vice President, Kamala Harris, which I know people are like, oh, Kamala, such a unique name. My sister's name is Katala. So it's just really switching up a few consonants and same name. A few of the consonants. Literally the M. That's it.
Yeah.
And take out the M, put a T, you got my sister. So it's exciting. And I think it's especially exciting that the first vice president usually is like the first vice president that's a Black woman has already been a woman before. So it's like the first time a woman has been the vice president, she is a Black woman.
I just need Joe to take his campaign commercials off air.
Oh, that's funny.
You are already in
You the
office.
president. You won, sir.
Why are your campaign commercials on air, bro?
I mean, I'm sure he has no idea that that's happening.
He probably does.
All the other people
who
work for him.
Going to get their money's worth. Like, oh, we already paid for this time slot. So,
yeah, it's probably like the advertisers thing. Like, well, it's in here. So here we go.
Let's just roll with it.
So I'm excited about that. Kev on stage said something that I really take to heart. He's like, I want to not hear about the president for a few weeks. And I'm with that. It's like, even when President Obama, I feel like growing up, you hear about the president, but not that often. Their president is not in the news every day for a tweet or for something.
But we also didn't have Twitter.
But even with President Obama, you didn't hear it. Like, it wasn't something where your news media was overtaken with news of the president every day. And then when there was a scandal, it was like tan suit.
Right.
And like bullshit like that. So I want that again. I want where I could go 2 weeks where when you hear from the president, it's because it's the State of the Address meeting.
Yeah.
Or, there's a new policy. Or you have to go on to like CNN and see what's happening in political news because it's just a mundane, boring. I want boring political climate. I don't. 4 years of just hot button, world's on fire. It's a lot.
But I think at the same time, Obama was less controversial. And then on top of that, he wasn't staying on Twitter like Trump did.
No, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying 100%. I want to go back to, I didn't hear about the president every day. Like, yes, there's this person who run the country. Do your job. People don't see me at work like, found a paper, saw a student, because, I want that. So I pulled questions, couples questions. Specifically, I Googled weird relationship questions. I found you would be shocked at how many articles or how many sites there are that have weird couples questions, and they range. So I have a few that I've kind of scanned over, and we can decide, if we each answer a different one or whatever. But I just thought some of them were funny. Some of them are ridiculous, and some of them are kind of like, oh, I never thought about this. So I'll just get right into it. If you woke up tomorrow as the opposite sex, what would be the top 3 things you do?
Oh, hoeing.
Wait, why hoeing? Because you're a girl.
I don't know. I mean, sure, you can do that as a dude, but...
I know. Okay.
No, I was playing. I mean...
No, you're not. First thing that came to your mind, you're not playing.
I don't know. Like, I feel like us as men have it pretty easy. So, when it comes to certain things, I don't know what the first thing I would do.
First 3 things.
I have, good grief, I have nothing, honestly, on that one.
You would wake up as a woman and there is nothing you don't know the first 3 things you would do? So if I woke up as a man tomorrow, the first thing that I would do is enjoy peeing standing up. I would enjoy peeing standing up because I've always wanted to do it. Not having to get naked practically and have your whole bottom exposed to pee. I look forward to trying that. While I'm there, gonna touch my penis just to be like, hey,
I was thinking about
penis, because I don't have one of those. So I would want to see, like, what's that like? If I still had the same, if I would be able to still in my mind be a woman and have the thoughts of like what it feels like when like my vagina is touched, like, is this similar to what the penis is like? Like, what is this like? I would try that. If I'm waking up as a guy, I'm assuming that whoever is next to me is now a woman. I'm not going to wake up as a guy. You're still a guy. I'm going to try sex as a guy, see what that's like. A lot of things having to evolve with my penis, my new penis. I'm going to test drive my new penis. I'm going to go to work and mansplain some stuff to some ladies. That's what I would do.
Oh my God.
To see how it feels to be on the other side. Do I feel as stupid as I sound to women? Like when men mansplain stuff, it sounds so stupid. And I'm going to go and do it to see if if it feels stupid.
I guess like some of the stuff that I'm thinking is honestly stuff that's probably going to happen anyway. Like that's why I'm like having a hard time with that. Like, I don't know. Like, I know I would definitely have sex. I would definitely try to figure out how this whole womanly body works and whatnot. Because it's like some things, unless you crack open a health book and everything like that, or get on the Googles, it's a mystery a little bit sometimes. I'm like, okay, so where does that come from? How does that happen? And everything like that. Like, granted, I could just ask. But, and sometimes I do. But a good chunk of that stuff is like stuff that would probably already happen. Like I would definitely be like, okay, these are boobs, but technically as a big man,
they're different.
How so? No, I know they're different.
We just have different stuff in them.
Oh,
like you can lactate. Well, you have to be pregnant for that.
Right.
But there's a lot of, I'm fairly sure they're different. I mean, they're built different. They're built different, whatever. I've only had girl breasts before, so I don't know.
I mean, of course, because like, I can't necessarily say I would try on women's clothing because of the fact like I would have to get dressed. So it's like that's something that's already going to happen. But definitely peeing sitting down like for the longest until I asked you was like a mystery for me. So
peeing sitting down?
Well, how it actually works.
Huh? We talked about this?
Yeah, we talked about this because it's like of course I know where a lot of body parts are, and but at the same time, like, I'm not looking for a pee hole while I'm down there.
I mean, you can't just see it. It just comes out. It just comes out. Vagina is like your pelvis tilts. It's not a penis, so it's not gonna okay. That's the next question. Anything else you do if you woke up as a girl? Okay. Ooh. What was your first impression of me? Did you ever dislike me?
Oh. I don't think my first impression of you was different because like I only saw you.
Okay.
So it wasn't like we had conversation at first. So it was more so like I saw you, I like the way you look and everything like that. You are a very fast talker and were a fast talker and still are.
Come from a long line of fast talkers. Thanks, Mom.
But I think you were like when I was around the people you were around, like when we were at Fisk, I knew you were opinionated, which isn't a bad thing at all. I'm like, okay, she has opinions about a lot of stuff. She got some things in that head. And I was like, but I think overall it was like pretty great qualities that you have. So I can't say that I had a bad impression of you. So yeah.
Did you ever dislike me?
I can't say that I did. There was nothing that you ever did, even when like we were hanging around each other or we were in the same circle or whatnot, that you did anything that was like trash, like, or anything like that. So
you want me to? Why is my stomach growling? I just had a sandwich.
Sure.
I thought he's so nerdy.
I am.
That's what I thought. So I was correct. I just thought you were kind of nerdy. I always wondered where I didn't realize that you were biracial guy then. So I was just like, why is his hair so curly? Like, how does he put a lot of gel and effort? Or I thought you had like a Jerry curl. Oh no. Like a texturizer.
Activator. Yes.
But that's all I thought. And I was just like, oh, that's Darius's friend. So that is how because Darius and I were closer at the time. And we were friends. So I was just like, oh, that's Darius' friend. Jeremy, he's from Chicago too. And then you were in Chicago Club too, I think. You came to a few meetings. Yeah. Right. You came to a few meetings.
I'm like, why I gotta meet up with people that I'm gonna meet up with after?
So that's it. So that's what I thought. I just thought you were so nerdy.
I am.
I didn't dislike you. I think I definitely didn't know enough about you to feel any way. Right? Because apparently if I had known some stuff, I might not have liked you. I didn't know.
All.
I didn't hear about you in my rumor mill.
Which is weird, but that's
why do you think it's weird?
Because like some of your friends and everything like that, like
my friends,
you would think that like especially some of the stuff that happened at Fisk.
Not my friends. Who do you think are my friends?
No. Like they would have heard about something that I did, and then they would have just started talking.
What I'm not saying that you didn't do stuff. I'm saying in my circle, I think our circles did not cross like that. In terms, that's what I'm saying. I just didn't think our circles crossed in that way, where the people that I hung out with weren't the people who you hung out with and who were in part of some of the rumors or not rumors, things you did and all of that. it wasn't in anybody like, oh yeah, we realize these things are happening over here. It just wasn't a part of. So when we talk about the rumor mill, there was just like a different set of people that it was coming from. So that's that. Some of these are so weird. If you had to go a week without your phone, what would you miss the most about it?
Let's see. I wouldn't miss emails. I mean, there's always email to call to message my mom or carry a pigeon. What would I miss? Honestly, it would be the camera on the phone, because like I'm always liking to take, like if I just want to pull out the phone to snap a picture of like a sunset or something like that, because like I don't always carry my actual camera around. So I would have to say the camera. Yeah.
Even though the thing that you use the most on your phone is, are you liking to the fact that you can get on social media from your computer?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, because you be on social media, so I'm like, that's not it.
Like I think I can live without that knowing that I can use this laptop.
Right. So that's not living without it. That's just using another.
But it's much more accessible from my phone.
Yeah, but it's not living without it.
No, like. But I think like there's so many times where I'm like actually, if I'm out and about, like just wandering around or anything like that, and I see something nice and I don't have my phone on me or anything like that, I can't snap that picture. Like it's just like, okay, mental picture.
But for that, you can carry your camera around.
I wouldn't want to.
You don't want to get on the computer and check Facebook, but you would if you ain't have a phone.
True, but like even now, I don't like moving that thing around so much, only because like it's just a process of just trying to get it back to do so I can live stream. Whereas with a phone, it's just easy. It's already on you, so it's like, pull it out and snap the picture or take the video.
Okay.
And plus, like the phone that we have are a lot better than that actual camera. Like as far as features, like it has good features on it, but I mean, I do want to record some videos like in like 120 frames per second or 240 frames per second. I can't do that on that camera.
Okay.
Nerd. Yeah.
No. Okay. Next question. This is fun. Would you rather I I didn't read this right the first time. Would you rather I be completely hairless or as hairy as a gorilla? Oh, that's a good question.
Hairless? Wait, are we talking about full body?
I'm assuming it says hairy as a gorilla.
Well, yeah, we're going to have to go with hairless on that one.
I mean, I'd have no eyebrows.
Okay, we can draw them off. I'm going to go ahead and get you one of them permanent marks, or we could tattoo them on.
No. I would pick hairy as a gorilla.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
You want me to go through that struggle?
How you know it's going to be a struggle?
I had hair before.
Yeah, but you ain't have hairy as a gorilla. You know?
It felt like it.
We can get you a conditioning deal.
Oh, like long.
You never know. Beauty and the Beast. The Beast got through it, and she fell in love with him while he was
and
like
then
a
he
gorilla.
turned back into human.
I don't know if I can see you looking like powder, like the black powder. I don't know if I can do that.
That was a good movie, though.
Especially if you're not ill. Like I don't want you to be hairless. It just makes me think sickly. If you could be on any reality TV show, which one would it be?
Any reality TV show. I don't know. That's a tough one. Only because maybe it would have to be like Big Brother or something like that.
Why?
Like, I think it would be a little bit much. Like, it's something that I can deal with a lot more. Like, most of the other shows is stressful. Like, it's constant argument. Like, granted, it's for like, it may be some real arguments and everything like that, but like, I think with Big Brother, granted, I've only seen like one season. It wasn't as much of a problem, and plus, it was like isolation.
I mean, that's appealing to you.
Where do I go?
That's true.
Like, if it's not for a purpose, most of the time I'm in. Like, even when we went out when I tried to do work from outside and everything like that, that was a struggle. Well, mainly because like the store took out all the plugs and whatnot. But
it was also raining. All that stuff affects your mood. It was raining, so it's kind of gloomy. And I think you don't think about on a subconscious level how that affects. Like, you get frustrated on a sunny day, it doesn't seem as bad. You get frustrated because something ain't going like where you want to on a rainy or gloomy day. You feel it deeper.
Yeah, true. I don't know, but the fact that they took out all the like.
Because it's a pandemic.
I mean, like, it makes sense, but I'm like, yo, like, you could at least left one.
No, because then they have to fight people. I get it.
True.
If I actually have two,
okay,
I would be on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Mm-hmm.
I like all the Real Housewives. Well, specifically, I like Atlanta and Potomac and Jersey. And I like Beverly Hills. I like Beverly Hills because they are rich. They not play rich. They are for real rich. So I would like to be on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or The Amazing Race, which I don't know if it's it's a reality game show. I have always wanted to be on The Amazing Race. It is something that I hope to be able to do one day. And I always said, there are two things that they would ask me to do on The Amazing Race that I'm not sure if I'd be able. Well, I know I can't do. Swim in an ocean, because I can't tread water. Shut up. Or ride a bike, because I can't. Sometimes you gotta ride. So I always have to have a partner who can do both of those things very well, so that I don't have to do them. But I could do cold stuff, hot stuff. I'm good at finding stuff. I'm good at talking to people in different languages, try to figure out what's going on. I can eat stuff. I can do all of those kinds of things, but I can't tread water. And I'm good at figuring out clues. I love that kind of stuff. So I would love to be on The Amazing Race.
That'd be dope.
So that's it for that. Okay. Do you think you're a good kisser?
Mm-hmm.
What about your kissing style do you think makes you a good kisser?
I think the fact that I actually like kissing, really like kissing. But also I don't know, it's one of those things where you kind of just gotta go with it more so. And plus I've never really had complaints before. So I've asked.
I'm no complaints don't mean it was good.
Right. I'm I've asked. And they were there's only probably one person that said that they don't like my kissing. And that's only because by the time we finished, there was this little, I don't want to call it drool, but it was wet, right there. Just like when you kiss me with lipstick and everything like that. And my whole mouth is red and everything like that.
That's because you were trying to kiss me too hard.
I mean, it's passionate.
So who's the first person you ever kissed? Who's the first person you ever kissed? Romantically. Don't tell me your mama.
I gave my mom a kiss on the cheek. That would be Sharif. We were in karate class together. And that's a funny ass story all on its own. Only because I thought she could get pregnant. And I thought I'm well, what about pregnant? What if you get pregnant? What about AIDS?
Did your mama say that? I'm my mom used to tell me you get pregnant from kissing.
No, I think my grandma said that.
Sandy, you were 8?
Yeah.
You tongue kiss or just a kiss, a peck?
No, I think we had tongue.
At 8?
Mm-hmm.
You go fast.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, there was a lot of stuff that I thought was like pretty normal. Like, I was up late around that time watching Skinamax a little bit. Like, cause when Nick and Knight, like I remember the first time I actually saw stuff like that, like Nick and Knight would come on and everything like that. And
I don't know why I thought you was gonna say nigga night. I'm like, what is nigga night?
Nick at
you
night.
said you was like nigga night. I'm like, what is nigga night?
But no, like what the people were doing in that, like it was like I don't know, remember really how I felt watching that stuff, but I remember like, oh, that looks nice. That looks like fun and everything. So. But then my grandma was like, don't do it. Like basically, I remember the first time she talked to me about sex was like, wrap it up. Otherwise, if you don't wear a condom, you're gonna wake up with your dick next to you on a pillow. Because it's gonna burn off.
How did it get up there? That'd be my question. How does it get up there?
I don't know. My thing was I was just scared.
Fall off and be like, man, I'm gonna lay on the pillow since I'm off.
Right. Like
I've always wanted to be over there.
Like I was just scared
lay my head
of the fact that it could do that. Like it could just burn off or something. Like I believed her because my grandma wouldn't lie to me like that. Right.
Except she lied to you like that.
Exactly. But I think like when the first time I kissed my first kiss and everything like that, like I was the one that was hesitant. She was the one who basically was like, I think we should kiss.
Because 8, that is a lot. Was she 8?
She was 9. But I'm like, what if you get pregnant? She's like, I don't think that's how that works.
Does not.
And I was like, well, what about AIDS? Because I was watching the news and everything like that sometimes. And she was like, I don't think that's how you get that either.
No, it's not. I hope you know that now.
I know that now. But at 8, I'm like, and then next thing you know, like, but it was like we were playing Nintendo and stuff like that. So
no, I had my first kiss when I was 14. Justin Stewart was my first boyfriend in 8th grade. And I remember like somehow through the grapevine of our friends, we decided to be a couple. And I think we were a couple for like 2 weeks. And it was right before Christmas break? I think it was like sometime like right after my birthday or something. And because we broke up when we got back from Christmas break because he cheated on me. So trauma of a 14-year-old with this girl from church, which his cousin told me about. But that's a whole other thing. I remember we rode the same school bus, and I was the first stop on the school bus. And so there's a short amount of time for us to be able to do it. And I remember someone had said, like, are y'all gonna kiss? And what we called kissing, we called it kicked it, which is so funny. I don't know if anybody ever said that, but we called it kicked it. So like, did you kick it to him? Meaning like, did you tongue kiss? And all my friends had, and I never had. And, I remember like we were talking, like, he was like, do you want to? And I was like, well, if you want to. And it's like, yeah. And we were on the school bus, and it's like, everybody knew we were going to do it. We didn't see next to each other on the school bus. We had to like, we got on the school bus. Somehow figured out we were sitting next to each other. We didn't want people to watch. And then I remember he sat by me and he was just like, you ready? And I was like, yeah. And he like leaned over and he kissed me. And I remember like, oh my God, he's kissing me. And then I was like, oh my God, his tongue is in my mouth. This is weird. I don't know what's happening. It was like, blah, 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 blah. It was
like Jabba the Hutt dying. Like,
it was so weird. And we kissed and it was like, okay, bye. And I got off the school bus, and I remember because I had my own phone line. By that time, my best friends, Megan and Evie, are at the time, they lived closer to the school, so they didn't take public transportation there. Either their parents came or they walked. Evie lived really close to school, so she would walk often. So I remember I called them, like, oh my God, just another kiss. And they were like, oh my God. So
I'm so happy for you.
That was my first kiss. I was 14. So I was the late bloomer. I always pray my children are late bloomers like me. Like, cause it was weird, but it was age appropriate. Like 14 years old, that's when I always want to ask my goddaughter if she's kissed before. Because I mean, she's 13.
Don't answer that.
That's the kind of time. No, I'm not gonna be mad. Like now, I mean, now I won't be mad now because of the Rona. But prior to. This is the kind of thing I want to talk to her about. Like I want to talk to her about her first kiss and.
Did you count while you were doing?
Did
like
she
1,
like
2?
it or because she's older. And the other part to that is because we started she just took her exam for to get her high school placement.
Mm-hmm.
So she did that yesterday. And I remember, I'm going to put my best friend business out here. Our freshman year of high school is like when Evie lost her virginity. So I want to talk to her about that kind of stuff. I know she know about sex and stuff, right? Because I've talked to her. I mean, we talked to her about sex and stuff like that. So I always want to know, where she is and how she feels about stuff because she is at the age where she's going to experiment. And, I can't count on her waiting until how old I was when I started having sex. Like when I was an adult and had my own place and able to make my own decisions, right? She could be sneaking out of the house like like her mama did. Like no shade, like of course. But I want to know. And I know that Evie is that kind of mom too, that she would want to know. I mean, she'd probably lose her shit. She would not. She would.
What, for kissing? Or are you talking about the sex?
Oh,
part?
She was having sex. Oh my God. Evie would die. She would die. I mean, but kissing, she would probably be like, she would play it off, but I think she would be very like, I feel like I'd be a lot cooler about it. Like, I'd be embarrassing though. I know, like, oh, look at my baby making out. Cause it's like, ew, like she's my baby, but I look at her more and more and just be like, yeah, but she'll also be 14 and later in the year, in the middle of the year. So, okay, a few more. What one thing would you like to change about me?
I'm not answering.
It's right there. It says, what one thing would you like to change about me? I'm not gonna get mad. I'm not even gonna tell you I'm gonna change it. It's just gonna be interesting to know. Are you gonna ask me a question?
I'm gonna take the
you can't plead no fifth, no nothing.
I'm gonna take the takeoff route, like cap. That's it. Hey.
There has to be a thing. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I'm sure there is. Why do you look so afraid? You gotta get some water?
Is it hot in here, man?
No, it's not actually.
Hey. Oh, we're still here.
Yes. What is one thing that you change about me, if you could?
Okay. Why am I drawing a blank?
I don't know, because I know you got something. you trying to, I can see in your head, you trying to file like, nope, gonna be mad. Oh, this is safe. Say anything.
That's the thing. Like, one thing you can't control.
Huh?
One of the things you can't control.
Are you talking about Putin in my sleep?
Yeah, man.
That's not really a thing you can change about.
That's
me.
what I said. That's why I said that. Like, you can't really control that because I'm sure, like, if you were awake, maybe I don't know.
Like, would I not? No, I would not. I wouldn't stop myself from doing it.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying like if you were awake, I don't know if I do it in my sleep.
Me either, because I always fall asleep before.
You always.
So I feel like you get your Putin out before I wake up.
I guess I would say I don't even know how to word this one, but it has to revolve around like the self-consciousness, revolving around like you remember we were talking about morning sex and everything like that, and how like you have to do certain things before you can have sex and stuff like brush your teeth, wash up and all that stuff. I'm like, but me on the other hand, I'm like, shoot, we could just keep a thing of mouthwash right on the nightstand and a cup to spit it out with and go at it.
So you wish I was less hygienic?
No, because like I love morning sex, like straight up rolling over. Granted, I don't necessarily like morning breath, even for myself, but I don't, because I'm like, I don't necessarily think like there would be anything bad about us doing that. So I guess like, but I think it was much more of a self-conscious thing for you. I don't know.
Okay. I don't think it's self-conscious. It's not just me. I don't want your morning breath and your first.
That's why I say let's go ahead and hook up that mouthwash, like a little thing of mouthwash, like a communion cup of mouthwash.
Not a communion cup.
And a couple of mints. Cup to spit it out in. We good.
Okay.
What about me?
If I could change something about you, I think I would make you prioritize certain things about yourself, like going to the doctor and prioritizing your health. I would make you prioritize your health, because you don't. You don't. And I get it, because I understand how expensive insurance is and things like that. And I do say it from a position of privilege, because I work where I have insurance. I work for a company that pays for my insurance. So it makes me very like diligent. But I also know like what happens when you like don't do a lot of the things from a preventative angle have like helped me avoid some long-term health issues. And sometimes I identify stuff, like the first time I went to the dentist, boy, it cost so much money, because I was 23 and I had not been to the dentist since I was 12. So from 12 to 23, I didn't go to the dentist. And so when I went, there was so many things that had to be done before I even got to my fillings. Like, and I had 9 fillings to fill, but I had to get like laser adhesion for my gums because they were like separating from my teeth. I had to get deep cleaning, and I couldn't even get it all done at once because they can't do your whole mouth at one time. So they can only do like, that's why I am partially obsessed with my teeth now, which is why everyone's like, your teeth are so white. Because I put a lot of coins. Even with insurance, there was still a lot of money you had to put into it. So
I mean, my dentist is back home, so it's like I know that's not an excuse.
I must say, because you live in Houston and you've lived here for a year now, so you can't.
But not like she would. It was like almost not necessarily a barter situation all the time, but like I would do stuff for her office and everything like that but basically get a low cost for that.
I get it.
Because I'm like, yo, like some of the stuff that she wanted to do, I'm like, when I looked at how much it actually really costs, I'm like, yo, I do not want to go into that financial
But
strain.
This is why I said prioritize, because if we're realistic, and I say this like I say it for myself, there are things that we prioritize that if you wanted to, like when we talked about making sure you got health insurance and like all of that, it takes work because you don't have a traditional job that covers the insurance in that way. But you're like, yeah, I know the paperwork is somewhere, or like, I know what the steps are. You're aware that there are steps you can do to do it. You just haven't done it. And like we were talking about, like getting like the universal health care or like the Obamacare.
I have it.
Okay. So that means you have something that you could utilize. There are plenty of places here that have doctors that take different payment plans. You can figure out what it costs. It takes research, right? And I get even with your dentist, like you might be able to barter. She don't live in Chicago no more.
True.
So you got to figure it out for here.
But I think, okay, so when I moved here, the only reason why I wasn't able to have it, like I didn't know that wasn't a cross-state thing. Like I didn't know how that worked. I mean, once I found out how it worked, I didn't qualify at that time. So I had to wait until this year to do it. So that's the only reason why. Like I want to have insurance. Like I would like to have better insurance.
Right.
But as a freelancer and everything like that, like though there are no breaks for that. Whereas I'm like,
but what my whole thing is, that's why I said prioritize. That would be the thing that I would change, because there are things that we get that we like, but that are not. And I'm not saying we shouldn't have things that we like, but there are definitely things that we get that we like that are not a priority. And we don't prioritize the health as saying like, yeah, this might be $400, but it has to be done. And I could get I have a care credit card. So like I can use my care credit to, if I'm going to get a credit line for something, it should be for my health. So I could go to the doctor. So I could do all these things. So I can see what's going on and check up and da 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 da. So that was the thing I would change, was that you prioritize your health, which is going to happen because you ain't going down me. Leave me with 3 kids to raise. Oh, no. I don't think so. Also, where did the extra kid come from, too? Right. We're going to make one more question. I want to make it a good one. What?
Go
ahead. Okay, maybe 2 more.
Oh, Lord.
If you could trade lives with someone, who would it be?
That's not necessarily a tough question, but like I would want to trade. I would want to trade lives with Jeff Bezos.
You stole my answer.
But I wouldn't want to trade his age.
I would trade it all, because I'd spend 2 weeks as a billionaire and be like, that was great. Yeah. That was pretty fun. Jeff Bezos or Beyonce. Mm-hmm. That would be. Yeah, I would. And me probably Beyonce, so I could touch my boobs. But yeah, probably Jeff Bezos.
I'm like, yo, I can take them billions. I could take them billions.
Yeah. $1 billion. It's crazy. It's like more money I would definitely do it. And I would change up Amazon a little bit. Pay people a lot more money because I got it.
Yeah. Never mind. Anyway.
That was a good one. I was going to say Jeff Bezos too. Okay, so since you answered that one too quick, we have to answer the last one. Oh, I lost it. What's one thing no one knows about you?
No one?
I mean, or maybe very few people. Dead air, dead air, dead air, dead air.
I don't know. Like, that's honestly a tough one, because I'm usually open about a lot of stuff. The only thing I don't broadcast everything is usually about sexual stuff. So
is that something that's something nobody knows?
No, like it's like stuff that's within sex that I. Mm-mm.
Do I know it?
Yes.
Oh.
We've had this conversation.
I don't know if I'm not supposed to say it or not. Oh, I still don't know what we're talking about. I liked how I did. Oh, like it came to my mind, but it didn't. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to come back to that one.
Oh my gosh. So what's something that I don't think a lot of people know about me? I feel like all of my big things, some people actually know because I've said it in one platform or another, including this one. Like, I don't know how to ride a bike. My father was murdered. Okay, that's something a lot of people don't know about me. My father, people know that my father passed when I was 10. But my father was actually murdered by the police. So that actually happened. when I was 10 years
Oh.
old. And it's crazy because now I think about it, at 34, I've had more years. I mean, it happened when I was 20, but you know, 75% of my life, my father hasn't been, I'm lying, 66, like 2/3 of my life, I haven't had my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's always weird for me. And he was killed almost less than a year after he was released from prison. My dad was in prison. And my dad was a member of the Nation of Islam. So that's something that a lot of people probably don't know. My dad went to prison when I think I was like 3. He was released when I was 10. And then right before I turned 11, not right before, because he died in April of, I was already 11. I'm lying. He was released when I was 10. Then I turned 11 because he died in April of 97. Was when he was killed.
Mm.
And he used to write me letters all the time. That was the first thing I ever wrote, was a letter to my father in prison.
Mm. There's one thing that comes to mind, but even I still have a hard time dealing with it, or not necessarily dealing with it, but like I haven't really talked to anybody about it.
Are you about to say something real heavy?
Well, because I'm still defining the boundaries or the guidelines on that. Like, because like I know young men can be raped, but I'm like, okay, yeah. So when I was 14, 13, 14? I think it was 13. Basically, I used to go downtown for school and everything like that. And then basically, there was always this woman who sat next to me. I didn't think anything of it because I'm over here just like, sometimes doing my homework on the way to school. And it was always math, but that's just me. But she would always sit next to me, and then she started talking to me and everything like that. And like she would always like invite me to her church and everything like that. I'm like, okay, so where's the church? And because of the fact, like I've been to Orthodox churches that have like a big church home and everything like that in a nice looking building. But also some of the churches that I've gone to have been like hotel conference rooms or been in like an event space and everything like that. So I didn't think anything of it when she said like, oh, well, we meet up at the it's the Ramada Inn, the conference room Ramada Inn on Lakeshore Drive. And so I was like, okay, cool. Like I don't think there would be an issue for me to come and everything like that. And of course I believe it was either my mother or my godmother. And so I went, and lo and behold, there was no church. Next thing I know, like she's over here like touching on me and everything like that and trying to undress me and everything. And I'm like, okay, is this supposed to be happening? Is this how this happens and whatnot? And I think it got all the way down to the part where like she started like touching all over me and everything like that. That's when I was like, okay, no, this ain't good. And I basically tried to leave, and she started throwing stuff. I was like, okay, this is not how any of this is supposed to happen, especially because I'm 14 or 13 or 14. So basically I ran up out of there. I had my clothes in hand, ran up out of there. So yeah.
Oh, that was heavy.
That was?
I mean, yeah, kind of.
I mean, only like I guess the way I view it, because it's not how like in my mind, I'm like, I wasn't badly hurt. I wasn't abused or anything like that. And I'm like, there's a lot of things that are worse that are happening in the world, like especially to young girls, young Black women and everything like that, even adult women, that some of them aren't even alive. So I'm like, okay, I don't know how to how to categorize
those feelings don't have to be mutually exclusive. I think shit my therapist says. Those things don't have to be mutually exclusive. You can feel gratitude that you have knowledge that there are people who have experienced worse than you, and still recognize that was not right. That shouldn't have happened to me, and that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Well, this is gonna be interesting, especially if my mom listens to it, because I've never told her. Sorry, Mom.
There's a lot of stuff I ain't tell my mama, and she owns my podcast, so
yeah,
she'll probably never know.
I also never, I never seen her on the bus again after that. But also, I did change the time that I went on the bus. I started going on the bus earlier. I never really talked to. I talked to one person, and that was my best friend at the time, and he's like, "Yeah, don't even say anything."
Yeah, kids will send kids off.
Well, because like his rationale was that my mom was going to get mad at me.
Because he was a kid, so he gave you kid advice. I get it.
But I was thinking the same thing.
I was asking my kid friends kid advice. They gave me kid advice because they were also kids.
Like, oh, you're going to get in trouble.
They gave me dumb advice because they were also children. So that's why a lot of stuff didn't make sense. See, this is why I like to have these kinds of conversations with my goddaughter, though. Mm-hmm. Because I want to talk to her about like stuff like that, where even if you're like, I don't know if this is right or wrong, I don't feel really bad about it, but I do feel a way, and I want to know how to anticipate some of these things, because I've been in situations as an adult woman where, because I didn't have a lot of people to talk to about certain things, I didn't know, like, was this normal? Should this have happened? Or what the boundaries of consent have been, because I didn't know before I put myself in certain situations. So I always want to talk, that's a lot of reason I wasn't having sex when I was younger, because I knew I didn't know a lot of stuff, and I didn't want to ask. So I was like, I ain't gonna go out in here blind. So let me just. Plus, I didn't want to get an STD.
That was
and that's what I mean. Past being pregnant, I didn't want to get an STD. So I didn't want to get pregnant either, but I definitely didn't want a disease.
Yeah.
I think.
Let's go with one more.
I was gonna wrap it up.
Let's just go with one more to lighten it up back up.
What's the strangest thing that you've ever eaten?
Sheep tongue sauce.
What?
Sheep's tongue sauce. It's actually really,
sounds
really good.
I like sauce meat. So you're picking the wrong person. You're thinking eating some kind of animal parts and innards is going to make them disgusted. Because I'm not the girl. I like it. A
lot of people, when I say that, like, I don't even feel comfortable saying that out loud.
Sounds good. I like lengua. Like, you ever had tacos de lengua? It's cow tongue tacos.
I've had cow heart tacos.
No, cow tongue. It's like, the only thing about it has like the... Think about your tongue. I said bumpy. It's like that, but thicker. Yeah. The meat don't grind as well. Lengua.
But sheep tongue sauce is basically, I think it's native to the Bahamas. So it's basically almost like a soup. It has like the broth, a potato, like cut up potato, and sheep tongue in it. And this is actually the weird part. So there's a mutual friend between my mom and myself. She's in the Bahamas. Her name is Kiva. We asked her to bring us something back to eat and everything like that, because we weren't able to leave the Atlantis at that time. And she brought us it looked regular, like it was like regular soup. I was like, okay, cool. And I'm over here eating. I'm like, this is good. That looked like chicken. Okay, nice. Start eating it and everything like that. And I was like, wait a minute, that is not chicken. What is that? And she's like, nice of you to ask. It's sheep's tongue. I'm like, and the immediate thought in my head, I'm like me actually tonguing down a sheep and everything. Like, I'm like, no. But it was good though.
You finished it?
I finished it. But, and then even like anytime we go back, I'm like, yo, so about that sheep tongue sauce though, where that? Like, I had that before. I had, what was that? Conch salad?
Conch. I love conch. It's so good. I like seafood though. I'm a big seafood person.
Like I didn't have it until I think it was 2018. I never had it until 2018.
I mean, that's the first time I had it when I went to the Bahamas that time. When I went on a cruise with Brittany. Our second one. I think it was our second one. That's the first time I had it.
Mm-hmm. What about you?
The strangest thing I've ever eaten was probably dry roasted crickets.
Okay.
So I don't know who brought them to me or where they went. And they were like, you know, you have dry roasted like peanuts. They were like that. And they had them in a bag of like crickets. And you're like, ugh. So they weren't like in candy. But like I went to school with a lot of people who like would travel and come back with like, you know how they put like the bugs in a popsicle and stuff like that. And so we would like eat them until you could start taking the texture of the bug and then you throw it away. But they had like a little baggie and I was like, whatever. And I picked out a few crickets. The only bad part is when you can feel like the antennae and stuff or legs stuck in your teeth. But I have eaten dry roasted crickets. I've had chocolate covered crickets. Those were good, actually. I mean, that's what I'd eat regularly, but they weren't disgusting. I always said if I had to get on Fear Factor, I could probably eat stuff. Except they always be eating like raw intestine and stuff. And I don't like that.
Chitlins?
Raw.
Oh.
I don't eat chitlins cooked for 10 hours. Okay. You don't eat them raw. They boil forever. Also, I love chitlins. And I know a lot of people, that's a controversial topic. I don't care. More for me. I always just feel like
I will say
when people say they don't eat chitlins, more for me, my earring fell out.
I will say your mom, I didn't have them, but the fact that I couldn't smell them
I tell people
at all.
I have this conversation with people so much. All the time. People who like don't like chitlins. But you don't have to eat them. That's fine. Again, more for me. But when people always talk about how chitlins stink and they stink up the house, that means that if your house stank when chitlins are made, that means they are not clean. That's all it means is they're not clean. Because and nowadays, people don't even get the red buckets anymore. You can. The red bucket is like literally out the pig in a bucket. Sometimes you can have like, see the last meal, we seen like a piece of corn and it'd be like literal shit on it. But now they come pre-cleaned. But people take the mistake of even taking pre-cleaned ones and boiling them. My mama said, we still clean, pre-clean. And when we used to have chitlins like growing up, it would be say Christmas was on Saturday, we be cleaning chitlins from like the Friday before, a week before. Like you be cleaning them forever. You clean them on, clean them, take them out, re-clean them. You have to go over them. Somebody else go over them. It was like a whole thing to like go over and clean and inspect and clean chitlins. So when you cook them, they should smell like nothing. They honestly don't taste like anything. And most people, if you like South, you will like chitlins because for me, it's that's what be a South meat.
No,
it'd be like,
but Bahamian South is the South is different than like Southern South.
No, I'm saying if someone likes South meat, I'm not talking about that.
Either that
I'm saying people like
hash.
I'm saying if people like South meat, you will like. I mean, it's probably parts of that in it.
Oh.
But I don't try to convince nobody to like nothing I like, especially stuff that I like. More for me is all I hear. I like chitlins, and I don't get them that often. I traditionally only get them once a year. I didn't even get them in 2020. And there's actually something I won't cook because I don't got that kind of patience.
The patience of a Zen monk.
But I've cleaned them before because it's actually very therapeutic. I remember asking my mama as an adult, I came to her house and I was like, oh, I'm gonna clean a few. And I looked up and 2 hours had passed which is very therapeutic to like pull the fat off and separate the chitlin. Now they do smell weird when you clean them. Even if they're pre-cleaned, when you clean them, they still smell, but they don't stink. It's like fish. Like fish smells fishy, but it's not like, ew, this stink.
Yeah, super stink.
Exactly. It just smells like, if you get pre-clean chitlins, they're gonna like smell, or like, you know what really smells like them? When those tofu noodles or whatever, and it has like that fish, that real, it don't stink, but it's just like, that's strong. And you rinse it off and it's gone. That's what chitlin smells like to me. unless you get them from the red bucket, in which it does smell like shit. No lie. But you clean them, and I know a lot of people are like, and it's always so funny because like people are like, ugh, people eat like I don't want to eat something that used to have shit on it, and people eat ass. It's just
that's different.
It used to have shit on it and has shit on it more often. All right, guys. That's the end of this week's episode of If It Isn't Love podcast. We would love for you to follow us on all the social medias at If It Isn't Love podcast. That includes Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Our Twitter is If It Isn't Love PO1. Please feel free to also send us your topic ideas, questions, things like that to our email at ifitisn'tlovepodcast@gmail.com. We love to entertain your questions and thoughts and comments. Make sure that you rate us on your favorite podcast platform, especially if you listen to us on Apple Podcasts. 5 or nothing. Also make sure that if you're watching this on YouTube, that you subscribe so that you don't miss any of our episodes or any other content that we put out. Live streams. We just did a burrito taco mukbang. So make sure you watch that. That was fun that we did back there on Friday. I think that's it. Anything else?
Thanks for your support, and until next time.
Bye. Eat your chitlins. Bye. All because of you.